dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. Huh, so many people on meth. Ow!
Pretty crazy that 50 years later, DNA is still bringing people to justice. They say that DNA testing has definitely linked the unsolved death of a Utah teenager in 1974 to the infamous serial killer Ted Bundy. How about that, huh?
Wow.
All this time later, here they are talking a bit about it.
We can now say, without a doubt, that Theodore Ted Bundy did, in fact, murder Laura Ann Amy in the fall of 1974, and that law enforcement now has DNA testing results that are compatible with the latest DNA testing standards. This will make any future DNA test comparison easier for those law enforcement agencies who still have open cases involving Bundy.
Yeah, that's what they said about Bundy when he was getting ready to go on death row. First of all, they said he was a scaredy cat crying baby, did everything in his power to stop that from happening. There's even rumors he crapped himself and was peeing himself.
Because he knew he's going straight to hell.
But his whole thing was, please keep me alive. I can tell you where more bodies are at. And the police finally just said, dude, we're so sick of you jerking us around, because he loved to jerk the cops around. Sometimes he'd be correct. Other times he'd be lying to them. And they just said, we're not playing your game. Tuesday is Friday. He got killed on a Tuesday.
Oh, gotcha.
And all the signs outside were, Tuesday is Friday, because they were flying.
Oh, fry.
Yeah.
F-R-Y.
Yeah.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Tuesday is Friday. That don't make no sense.
I know a little bit about the case.
You may be too involved.
Well, there was a attorney that got called out in court by a judge in New York for using AI-generated imagery and cases. And this is kind of a warning that we've said, but some of these lazy attorneys haven't learned their lesson until they get chewed out.
The state's response brief pointed out that a number of the citations in the opening brief and even quotes in the opening brief that were purportedly from cases don't appear to match any cases that they could find. And frankly, we followed up and we could not find those either.
My law clerk was using a search engine that we've now completely discarded that is the explanation for that.
It couldn't just be a search engine. Something produced and wrote the brief that your name is on, correct?
Yes.
Whoa, he doubled down and said,
Yeah.
don't try telling me it was just a search engine
He tried to say
issue.
it was a search engine, but it was generating the material you used in your brief. That's different than a search engine.
Wow. Okay.
Damn. I think if you use this too much, you get dumber. And I've seen a lot of people using AI to write scripts for every event, every gala, everything.
Yeah.
It's overwritten. It's ridiculous. It makes it fluffy and dumber. Don't use it.
Well, people are calling you out. There's a Florida middle school teacher that is accused of dating the mother of one of his students just so he could get closer to her 13-year-old daughter.
Gross.
Yes, and he had bad intentions.
Did they catch him before he did anything?
I believe so. Yes. Allegedly, he was grooming the teenager for months while in a romantic relationship with her mother. I think he might have actually.
He tried.
This is a thing, y'all.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And that's how you catch a bullet in the skull.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 41-year-old Daniel Leviri is the guy who was arrested for that. So it's just crazy that he did it under the guise of dating the mom just so he could get close to the daughter.
It's crazy, but now this is possible. So if you have a daughter, you can't date randos. You can't you can't invite randos to your house. You can't, if he wants to see you, your daughter can't be anywhere around. You guys go to dinner, childless.
Yeah.
You can't invite randos to your house, but what if randos show up at your house?
You can ask them to leave, and if they won't leave, you call the cops.
If you ask them to leave, they'll pray for you. That's from earlier in the show, if you're confused.
Well, I gotta tell you, it's dangerous enough trying to climb Mount Everest, but now these guides have a scam. They've been playing on the people that are trying to get up the mountain. They've allegedly been lacing their food to make them sick as they climb up the mountain, and then they have to call for help, and then they have to bring a helicopter to them. And that's the scam. It's really expensive to get a helicopter up there to get you off the side of the mountain, and they had a cut of it. They said it was part of a $20 million insurance scam.
Oh my gosh. They got the Sharpas?
What a
Or the
ruse.
Sherpas,
yeah.
whatever they are.
Yeah.
Dang.
What a scam that is, huh?
I watched a whole documentary on these Sherpas. It's fascinating what they do to get, people that have too much money and too many ambitions to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And they're poisoning them?
Yeah, apparently so. At least enough to get them sick where they got to try to get off the mountain.
What a
You can
scam.
make a scam into anything.
You can't trust anybody, Kevin.
Everything's a scam these days.
They got the Sherpas?
Yep. Well, a couple in the Florida Keys is facing charges after deputies say they were getting it on in plain view at a public park right in front of a family.
You can't do that?
This was in Marathon, where a family that included a juvenile reported seeing the pair getting busy out in the open.
Something tells me it was not hot.
No.
This is the kind of stuff that's gross.
Yeah.
Now, I remember I was at my old apartment. It was right next to the barbecue pit and the playground. And this couple must have been in their late 50s, very drunk, very sweaty. And they were dry humping on the top of a car on the hood. And I could see the whole thing. And I'm going, I don't want to watch this.
Sir, ma'am.
I only watched it for like 13 minutes.
That's it.
That's it.
And he broke away.
Couldn't watch anymore, Kevin.
Well, a Kentucky man ended up with a very unusual DUI charge. 48-year-old equestrian was riding a horse, and they gave him a GUI, which is short for galloping under the influence.
Huh.
He was partially slumped over while riding his horse, clearly impaired.
Okay, well, then there's the problem.
Yeah.
If you're slumped over, you're so drunk, dude.
Yeah. I think some people are like, the horse knows the way home. It'll get me there. But that's not good enough.
No.
Yeah.
It's still going to get you a DUI.
I wonder if that ever did happen, though, where someone was so drunk and they passed out on the horse, but the horse did get you back to where you needed.
I think that's what was going on here. The guy was like half passed out and slumped over.
They got you right to where you need to go.
It sounded like the horse was going.
Yeah. I've seen people, I've heard them justify that. Yeah, in some small towns where they actually have horses and they ride them around. They're like,
Small towns.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to hear that big. Yeah, get on a horse. He knows how to get me home. Like,
That seems like that's so dangerous.
Right?
not safe. No. Well, a 15-year-old Chihuahua named Daisy became the center of attention after her owner threw her own quinceañera to celebrate the 15th birthday.
That's adorable.
It is. You should see the photos of Daisy. She's like, "Wah?" She looks so pleased with herself.
That's adorable. 15. I mean, that's a long dog life.
It is. Sad to say that we lost the oldest living land animal on the planet. Jonathan, the giant tortoise, had a very long life, was born in 1832,
Holy moly.
was 193 years old.
Wow.
How about that, huh?
That's the kind of turtle you got to pass down from generation to generation in a will.
Pretty crazy, right? I mean, he went through the Civil War, to everything from today.
If turtles could talk, Kevin.
They can. You ever see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
That's true.
Donatello?
They do.
Come on, dog.
Or the one on the Tootsie commercial. How many licks does it take? They do talk a lot. So he held the Guinness World Record.
Aw.
Yeah,
Rest in peace, turtle.
that's it.